Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about, is there a safest way there to beat S&P 500? Now, you might be thinking, well, most of the people cannot beat S&P 500, so why even bother? Just do an average, like an average Joe, just buy an index fund and so be it. But let's think about it. Are they sure when they say that you cannot beat S&P 500? Is that true? Is it only a professional can actually go and beat an S&P 500? In my view, there are ways to beat the S&P 500. There are complicated ways. There are different ways you can pick your stocks, etc. But I do think that there is a way to easily beat the S&P 500. Now, a lot of people out there just listen to Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger when they say, what, average person should just follow the index and so be it. They say that and then you just follow it, right? But think about it. If there is a way, if I can show you a way that you can take to possibly beat the S&P 500, you could pocket that extra percentage return, which would help you in your retirement, and you can use that money for your own benefit. So why not do that? So therefore, without further ado, let's get started. So the safest way to beat S&P 500. Now, this is the S&P 500 return over the years. You can see in 2024, it's almost like down 1.5%. But 2023, it returned 26.29. 2022, it was down 18%. 2021, it was 28, right? And this is NASDAQ return, 100 returns since 1987. You could see average return of NASDAQ is always higher than S&P 500. Now, for example, 2023, the average return of NASDAQ was 53 versus 2023 return of S&P 500 was 26%. So it's almost like double the return you got in NASDAQ 100, right? But now you can also say that, well, the downside risk with NASDAQ is also higher. I understand. So for example, 2022, NASDAQ was down 32%, while S&P 500 was down 18%, right? Of course, more the risk, more the reward. So of course, with a NASDAQ, there is more risk downward risk. Therefore, coming back to my topic, is there a safest way to beat S&P 500? I believe if you can invest your money in S&P 500 index and NASDAQ 100 index, just these two index purely, guess what? You could beat S&P 500. Let me tell you how. For example, the combined return for last 5 years, if one has invested in both S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 index, would be approximately 79%. Okay? 79%. I'm talking about simple average return, right? Comment if you think otherwise, okay? And if you take this simple average return and you compare it to the S&P 500 5 years return, the S&P 500 return was only 65.49. And then if you have just invested in NASDAQ, it was 92%. So obviously by investing in both, you hands down, you beat S&P 500, right? But you cannot beat NASDAQ, right? Now, why I'm saying the safest strategy? Because here you're not picking up any stocks. You're just, let's say you have to open an account now, let's say for your kids, and you want to invest, you could put half of your money in S&P 500 and half in NASDAQ, whichever way you think you want. Let's say half, you would get this return, right? Because it's kind of like equally weighted. More the tilt you take towards Nasdaq, your results, like depending upon the down, if the like for example 2022, if your tilt in your profile, let's say your composition is 75 Nasdaq and 25 S&P, then you will have more downward risk during the down years. So I think 50% would be the best way. But you can comment me again if you don't agree. But I feel this is the simple, safest way to beat the S&P 500. There is, as I said, there is always a complicated ways like you can go to S&P 500 index. You look for other companies apart from the Magnificent Seven, right? People always talk about Magnificent Seven, but under the hood, you could find a lot of quality companies with low PE, etc. You can pick some of those. Definitely, you could beat it. But if you don't have a lot of time, in my view, at least, I think this is the safest way. If you don't agree with me, if you have other thoughts, please comment on the comment column below. And if you think this added value to you, please subscribe to my channel, click the like button, share this video to everyone so that